Fog Football is back for a mid-week review show of the Scottish Premiership Football League, although we don't have the entire SPFL to review because the Diddy teams weren't they playing, so it's basically just everyone for the Premier League and a handful of games from the Championship. But we're not the only ones who are back. Penalties are back. Brother John was dishing them out on Sunday to Rangers, and then last night he dished them out to Celtic. David Turnbull might have been too shite to score it, but they still got a penalty. And I'm not having it. I'm sick of this bias. I'm sick of this tinted specs from either side of the old firm. Can we just accept and acknowledge that if one set of officials were truly in favour of one and not the other, then that would mean that, let's say, for example, officials favoured Celtic. That would mean that not only would Celtic get beneficial decisions, it means that any team Rangers played would also get beneficial decisions, and vice versa. That doesn't happen. There is a bias, but it's a big team bias, it's a big club bias, and you will find more often than not it is Celtic and Rangers that are getting favourable decisions over the smaller clubs in Scotland.
I need a word with Big John, though. You know what? He mustn't have got his paycheck for Rangers.
Can you disagree with that?
No, I can't. I've talked about this before.
You can argue. I don't care if you think they favour Rangers more or if they favour Celtic more, but if it was purely a fact of favouring one over the other, then the one that they don't favour would be fucked. Because not only would they be getting not favoured in the Old Firm games, no matter who they were playing. If John Beaton was a Rangers fan, then that means that whenever Celtic played anyone other than Rangers, he would still be favouring the other teams.
Of course, you're right,
but it's always Celtic and Rangers that get. I mean,
who's more paranoid, man? Celtic or Rangers fans?
When was the last time Rangers conceded a penalty?
I don't know, right?
Well, that's not enough. It's not good enough.
Pre-2012, I'm not too sure, right? But let's be real. See, after the Hearts game against Rangers, some guy Hearts fan, all us teams are against the two cartel members.
Well, that's what it is.
No, Celtic fans said, "Aye, you're right. There is a cartel, but there's only one team in it, and it's Rangers." Fuck off. Imagine. Nah, come on. They're fucking obsessed bastards. I mean, imagine being a Celtic fan and thinking that Rangers get all the decisions. But Rangers, if Rangers were getting all the decisions, they wouldn't have been fucking shafted into the lower leagues.
Right, calm down, or I'm going to take care of you and give you your medication.
I am the carry, of course.
Definitely, right. We'll start. No, but it does annoy me. Like there is a bias, but it's a big team bias. It's an Old Firm bias.
I've admitted this. Of course there is. The Old Firm are going to get penalties at home that, Ross County against them away are not fucking I've got a hope in hell of getting. It's as simple as that. I'm willing to admit that. It's just, are the Cheerio counters going to fucking admit that? No, they're probably not.
Right, well, it's time to count the Cheerios, and I think Dundee United will be counting the Championship soon enough because they're going to win this league. There is no stopping them now. They're flying high. 11 games played. They've got, 8 wins so far, 3 draws, and no defeats. Again, they're defensively, they're so good. They've only conceded 4 goals in 11 games now. You can't beat that. And fair play to Rave, they're doing well to be up there, and if they do win their game in hand, they go within a point. But I'm going to say it here right now. I think Dundee United will win this league by double digits. I just don't see them being stopped. And
could they go undefeated? Not out of the question.
I think it's too difficult. I don't think Dundee United are good enough to go undefeated. It would take a Hearts 2015 to go unbeaten in the Championship.
One of those ones.
And I know when you finish 27 points ahead of Rangers.
Despite you counting those trophies though?
Fuck, that's the only trophies I can count, aye?
Alright then. But yeah, Dundee United, they're a quarter of the way there to go undefeated.
Well, maybe
more than that.
Stephen Naismith will give me more trophies to count, who knows? But for right now...
The Championship.
Yeah, Dundee United leading the way. Normally we look at the results first, so I don't know why we're on the league table.
Yeah, we do everything different midweek.
That's what happens when the carers no caring for it.
I know.
Aye, so Dundee United... Get it right. 2-0. Kai Folleringham with goals in the 20th and 52nd minute. I predicted 4-2. I did get I got the gap right. The amount of goals in the game right. But I got the scoreline wrong. I said 4-2. It was 2-0. But I'll take that. That's a moral victory for me. That's close enough.
Yeah, I think the Championship was quite easy to predict. These 3 games, Dundee United, most people were expecting them to win. As for Ray,
did you not go for a draw in that game?
Aye, well maybe I did, but the Kerry got it wrong, right? And I definitely didn't go for Great Morton though to get anything. Rafe Rovers won. No real surprise there. Here,
Well, Greenock were coming off a victory, so
it's 2 doubles. Kai Fotheringham and big Aidan Connolly. 2 doubles.
there you go, double delight for United and Raith Rovers.
And then the final game, ho, another one.
Jamie Murphy.
Jamie Murphy. My guy.
Former Rangers Jamie Murphy here.
Pretty sure it is, aye. With we first team coach Aidan McGeady in there.
Yeah, see, he scored a penalty. I wonder if Brother Beaton thought he still played for the Teddy Bears when he gave that.
He must have. His wee spiny senses were tingling when he heard that fucking penalty go.
But yeah, Partick Thistle, again, another underwhelming result for them. 2-2 at home.
Brian Graham, though. Goal machine. Goal
He is.
machine, Brian Graham.
He is. I still think we could see Partick Thistle in the Premier League next season. I just don't think it's going to come via the automatic place, because obviously that's going to Dundee United. But look,
If Rafe win their game in hand as well, I mean, that's a pretty big gap.
league title is pretty... I mean, I've noticed that all the leagues are relative, and I know it's start of season, I get that, but the Premier League and Championship, in the middle, they're both tightly contested.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
this one's kind of got similarities to the Premier League. You've got Dundee United, who are a wee bit ahead of the second place team, and then the second place team are a wee bit ahead of the third place team, and then after that, it's like not a lot splits it. The only problem with this league is there's nobody shite at the bottom like St Johnstone, who are cut adrift. But speaking of St Johnstone, let's talk about them, because
Let's talk about it, damn it.
let's go to the St Johnstone game first, fuck it, because that did really piss me off. Well, actually, we'll go to the Hibernian game first.
We did review this game. Hibs it. That's
Yeah,
pretty
the
much
Hibs look 2-0 up. It's not the first time Montgomery's been 2-0 up since he joined Hibernian and not been able to see it the win. It's things like that are going to cost Hibernian. And if he wants Hibernian to push and compete for third place, then it's different. It's one thing being 2-0 up against a Celtic or Rangers and not being able to hold it. It's a totally another thing being 2-0 up against Ross County at home and not being able to see it out.
Yeah.
This is the definition of 2 points drop.
Great goal for Jordan White. Brilliant goal.
Aye, good goal for Jordan White, but pretty shite if you ask me for Hibernian, so I don't know. Not good enough. They need to stop that. You can't go 2 goals down, 2 goals in front and then not win the game.
No, you can't. And you know what, though? We said they could have slipped up here after a good result against Celtic.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise
and
me in
they
the
did.
slightest. Right, let's talk about St Johnstone. This pisses me off. So I did say that in the preview to this, I says that Nicky Clark and Stevie May are better than Dessers and Lammers.
And all 4 of them turned up.
And all 4 of them turned up. It just doesn't make fucking any sense. Up till this game, St Johnstone had played, 10 matches, and they had 3 goals in 10 matches, and then within the space of 7 minutes, they'd almost equaled their goal tally for the season. And you can't tell me that the caretaker managers came in with Pep Guardiola tactics. He hasn't done that. This is a simple matter of the players at the club not playing for Stephen McLean, not giving a fuck. And now that they know he's gone and that he's lost his job, they've just come out tonight. They're putting a bit of effort. And I think this is disgraceful, right? There's no you can't explain how they can score 3 goals in 10 games and then score 2 goals in 7 minutes.
Just confirms he was right.
The players had down tools. The players, and I would want, if I was a St Johnstone fan, I wouldn't be happy at this result. I'd be thinking, where the fuck have you lot shiftless bastards been? Because they have let the club down, they've let the manager down.
Absolutely.
But on the flip side, I also said that Kilmarnock will never get into the top 6 and push for those European places unless they can fix their away form that was hindering them last season. And lo and behold, they couldn't do that. They lost 2-1 to bottom place St Johnstone. And Kilmarnock, they will never be a top 6 side in Scotland with the sort of away form that they have. Last season was fucking diabolical. Now, their home form's good. Derek McKinstry's a good manager, and that will be enough to keep them in the league. They'll always be safe. But in terms of pushing on and trying to do what a St Mirren are doing, for example, or just trying to compete with the likes of St Mirren, Hearts, Hibernian and Aberdeen, it's not going to happen unless Kilmarnock fix the away form. And they've just proven for me over a long period of time now that they just don't seem capable.
They'll need a wee folk to make every pitch plastic. They have a chance.
I'm wondering, are these clubs that have the home plastic pitches, are they getting used to playing on a plastic pitch that when they go and play on a non-plastic pitch, they're struggling to adapt? It could be why Livingston and Kilmarnock's away forms aren't good, and it would also make sense as to why teams that come to Rugby Park and the Tony Macaroni struggle. So I'm wondering, is there like, obviously we know there's a difference, but I'm wondering just, is like the likes of Kilmarnock and Livi get so used to playing on the plastic pitch that,
Well, if you're playing half your games on it, they are going to be used to it. Absolutely.
although you could say
And the form backs it up, so...
you could say they're playing about almost half their games on non-plastic pitches as well.
We're seeing a trend of where they're great at home, and then they're awful away, so that backs it up. But Aberdeen were 4-0 up against Motherwell. Stuart Kettlewell's side mounted a wee comeback, but there's questions over him. Could he be going? Super scoreboard.
Going?
That's what they said. Some guy phoned up and said, is he under threat?
He's not under threat. Fuck me. He's got a lot of time in the bank at Motherwell, but it is concerning. What I would say is he had a difficult run. Pretty sure he had St Mirren, Celtic, Rangers 3 games in a row.
Yeah, and then Ross County drew for each. Good comeback, but they're beginning to ship a lot of goals.
I mean, they are. I think no one's really looking at them now as a European contender, whereas at the start of the season, I think people were holding them in the same sort of bracket, same sentence as St Mirren. But yeah, now they're dropping off. I actually predicted Motherwell to struggle this season. I think I said 10th. I maybe could get that right, I don't know.
I don't even want to look at my predictions, because they're always fucking wrong. Season predictions, and I only really care about one or two. Not the other 10, but hey, I haven't had them right in a while.
But yeah, much needed win for Barry Robson.
Viva la Farga! His Hearts finally got a win.
Kenneth Fargas, first goal for the club. Took way longer than it should have, but here, convinced. Well, I say convinced. It was a dominating display without really carving Livi open. It was something like 25 shots to 3, 10 shots on target to Livi's none. I mean, it was all. At the first, I thought it was only a matter of time, but the longer the game went, I'm thinking it's going to be a 0-0 draw.
And Stevie Naismith, we trust.
But yeah, Stevie Naismith, we held out, we got the win, 1-0. Happy days, I guess. I would take Joe Newbley at Hearts. That's pretty much all I've got to add to that.
And here we go. Brother Beaton oversaw this game. Celtic 2, St Mirren 1. St Mirren took the lead. David Turnbull with a decent equaliser. And then the penalty.
Conor McMenamin getting his first goal for St Mirren since joining from Glentoran for £75,000. I haven't seen enough of the guy so far, but I think it's a good goal, obviously, to score against Celtic.
Good header.
It's a pretty good debut goal, and you could argue that a goal against Celtic's maybe worth 75k.
You could argue that, but was it a penalty? I think it was.
Probably what? I mean, I think Celtic had 2 VAR checks before this, and they weren't given. So it was probably third time lucky, like.
Third time lucky, I mean, I guess he had to give one. Brother Beaton.
Although there was no card given to Gogic, which I thought was a bit strange, because I thought he was going to get a yellow.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot more than just the football on display here. Boys Celtic stormed out in a protest with the Green Brigade. Green Brigade weren't there.
It's kind of funny because they stormed out as soon as St Mirren scored.
Yeah.
So it's like, it looks like they were leaving the pitch, leaving the stadium because of the scoreline. But nah, it must have been there is no attendance here, but I'd be interested to see what the attendance was. And I don't mean paid attendance. I'd like to actually know what
It was visible, like there was loads of empty seats. We're not talking here and there. I mean,
40,000 maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, you could. It was noticeable. You could hear it. You could absolutely hear it. But you know, you could also hear them roaring when O scored in the 83rd minute. And here, this guy. I think it's
maybe Bruce Willis seen the other 20,000 because he sees dead people. Like, oh, that's the zombies, isn't it? Oh fuck. Anyway, yeah.
No, that's his son. His son that sees dead people. Know him.
Is it?
He is dead.
Aye, well, Celtic's title hopes are almost dead, but resurrected them there.
Fuck, they're almost dead. I was 5 points clear, come on.
I'm kidding on.
Man.
Getting a very important goal. I don't think he's good enough, though. Overall, when he came on. Errol. When he came on. Get it?
I get it.
Errol.
I get it.
Anyway, yeah, he was too wasteful. There was a couple of good opportunities that Celtic had to probably put the game to bed at 3-1, and he just... He made the wrong move twice. I don't rate the guy. I mean, he might be okay to bring on as a sub, and he will get you the odd goal. I mean, I'm not denying that. But if let's say Kyogo snapped a leg right now and was going to be it for 6 months, and they said, Celtic, you're not allowed to make any signings in January, you'd be bricking yourself.
No, you would.
You don't. O's not the man that you want to be leading the team in big games domestically or in Europe. He's never going to be any more than in my opinion, a super sub, but he's not so super. Felt like with Giamakis, even though Kyogo's always been the better option, like when Giamakis played it, it didn't really. It felt like a downgrade, but it didn't feel like that much of a downgrade. I wouldn't look at a Celtic team with Giamakis up front instead of Kyogo and think, oh, that team looks pish.
Giamakis, who recently beat Messi to newcomer of the year in the MLS.
Aye, that guy. But when you look at O up front, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I just don't. I never have rated O. I mean, I think his best game was probably the 2-0 at Tynecastle last season. Not to rub it in, but he scored 2 goals. He hasn't really done much part for that. I mean, I think he's an alright plan B, but that's all he is. As Triple H said, there's always a plan B, but you never want plan B to be plan A.
Well, that sums up. And pretty much before we move on, Celtic fans did have some banners in the crowd for this game. They were saying, Police Scotland, not just clowns at Halloween all year round. What is Celtic fans' issue with the police now? Police Scotland? Police Scotland's got nothing to do with banning the Green Brigade, so I don't know if they were trying to show solidarity. And
no, there was an incident at Fir Park a couple of weeks ago where they were
trying... Did Celtic fans create it?
Yes.
So what's that got to do with police?
Because yeah,
I believe the Celtic
they created it, but the police were there. That's fine.
I believe that
victim mentality.
I believe that they actually opened the gates and allowed more Celtic fans in that didn't have tickets, something like that. Fire exit doors, something along those lines. Because I know Celtic made a statement on it. But yeah, they did something that maybe endangered because I know there wasn't many Stuarts at the game, and there was like a shitload of Celtic fans that managed to get in that didn't have tickets. I don't see how can you blame Police Scotland for that. You've got to hold the people that, allowed that to happen responsible. Wasn't the police that allowed it to happen?
Yeah, let's be real, right? See the people that turned up without tickets and, squeezed in, they're just fucking to blame as the stewards if anything happened. You're in there without a ticket. It's illegal. I mean, fucking the victim mentality. Honestly, I think that's weak. Like, I mean, yeah. But you know what it is, the fact just fucking blame anyone but themselves. Let's be real. But here, let's move on to the team that matters. Is Rangers pumped Dundee 5-0, which in a bizarre occurrence we seen Sam Lammers score, and not only did he score, it was a worldie, great goal, phenomenal goal. Cyril Dessers scored, not quite as good obviously, but really good performance for Rangers. Leon Balogun was honestly borderline unplayable. I know what was weird about this. The guy was picking up the ball at the back and he was just making these runs and he essentially created the first goal and he kept creating these chances, and I think Leon Balogun should be in the team. Do you not think it's a joke that Balogun, this is his first game I believe since midway through August? Like, yeah. Balogun's better than Davies.
I'd say so. I think the best centre back partnership is Suter on the right, Balogun on the left.
Yeah, and up to this game, I would have said defensively, the best game was the 4-0 against Livingston earlier on the season when it was Suter and Balogun. But realistically, I just don't see how Goldson gets replaced. But I think what it should be is Goldson and Suter, and then the guy to bring on if you need to shore things up, or you want to rotate a wee bit, bring Balogun in. But Rangers won 5-0, really comprehensive. But the main talking point, despite a 5-0 win, was the pyro. The fire alarm went off. The game was already delayed. Could delay a wee bit more. What is your thoughts on pyro? There's going to be a summit. Now, we like wrestling. I like when there's a bit of pyro. Do you like when there's a bit of pyro?
No, not to the extent. I thought surely it was dangerous. Couldn't see shit. The game had to be suspended. The players couldn't see. Just a big fucking puff of smoke. They had to delay the game. Police were saying there was safety concerns. By the time the game finishes, you don't even know if there's transport for Rangers fans. Dundee is not an easy place to get home from. By the time the game finished...
I could walk it.
I just think it's unnecessary.
Well, Simon Jordan said on TalkSport that every Rangers fan should have been booted out of the stadium. Mark Wilson on Super Scoreboard said, we should take an example from the Premier League, the most watched league in the world. They don't do pyro. I'm sorry, right? See all the best atmospheres in Europe? Look at all the Eastern European teams. It's all fucking pyro. Like this. The flares are out. See the Premier, it's done. It's just commercialised. Admit it. Why should we aspire to be like the English Premier League? See, apart from the money it generates, why? That is the only thing you'd want. Not none of the obviously, the more money, the better players you bring in. But would I Would I swap positions with the English Premier League right now? No, I wouldn't, because this feels real. You know, passionate fans, not fucking. I mean, I talked about it earlier in my feeds, right? That Manchester derby, Man United fans. Now I'm assuming they were tourists and not maybe the diehard ones, taking videos of Haaland's penalty.
Yeah, you shouldn't. That's madness.
Now, could you imagine in an Old Firm Rangers fans taking a video of Kyogo taking a fucking
No,
penalty?
you're too busy
Parkhead?
killing yourself. You're too busy praying that he misses.
It's life or death. No, here I'm not saying you can't film penalties if your own team's taking it. Obviously you can, but I mean, your actual fucking derby opponent, it's things like that, and man, it's sick. But you know what? I am one for pyro, but I totally understand the argument of, well, here there shouldn't be displays that, like, you know, delay the game in any sort of thing, because obviously it made the players go out, come back. That can lead to injuries. I can see both sides of the argument, but for me, I'm all for keeping the atmosphere, keeping the pyro. And at the end of the day, guys, that is your midweek SPFL review show wrapped up. And the weekend's action's not far away. We've got half cup, we've got half league. I'm looking forward to the cup action, and we'll be back very soon with that. But who was the winner of the midweek action?
Oh, who's the one? Probably Rangers. They won 5-0, didn't they? I mean,
they did. Can I make a case for anybody else?
No, can you?
You know what? St Johnstone.
St Johnstone.
Nah.
Actually, I mean, I get what you're saying with St Johnstone, but
could you argue Celtic? Tough game against St.
No, you could argue Celtic is. I mean, I think St Johnstone and Celtic are two really good results, but I also think Rangers are not being given the credit, because I think Dundee is a difficult place to go to.
Yeah, and you know what? If Danilo had his shooting boots on, he could have scored about 7. But hey, at least he scored one. And clean sheet, 5 goals, and Lammers and Dest, your 3 new strikers scored. Couldn't really ask for much more for a Rangers point.
Definitely not.
And the referee helped us. Got in the way of the 4th goal.
Whoa, it was good shit all round for Rangers.
It was good shit all round, guys, but that's us done. We'll be back very soon. But until then, peace.